All right, let's just get this out of the way. Nobody actually saw Carti last night. We saw a shape of Carti. We saw some mystical being on stage, but I can't say at the beginning. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Soul Serum podcast. I am your Rex on the table, Rex on the yacht, host Clay Bonine. I am joined by my Twizzy gonna lose it, but love it, co-host Tanner Mavis, and we are back on the Soul Serum podcast. I don't even know if I really have words for how excited I am to be back right now, to be honest.
We're back.
It's been a long time. Not a long time, but it has been a good bit. Before we get into anything, obviously, I gotta remind you all, follow us on Instagram at Soul Serum and Soul Serum TV. As the podcast is more active, obviously we'll be more active on the page again. Twitter, Soul Serum as well. YouTube, Soul Serum and Soul Serum TV. All the links are in the bio. And before we get into the episode, I also just want to give a few quick thanks. As you can see, obviously, we got a new set. Look at us. It's in a new place, new set, new vibes. I want to give a big shout out to my dad who helped build these panels that we're sitting in front of here. Also want to give a shout out to anybody who asked about the podcast in our absence. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to people listen. Shout out to John as well for helping tag team the painting and the sound foam and general set design.
Shout out to Sherwin-Williams.
Oh my God. Shout out to Sherwin-Williams, all of our plugs that we have there. Thank you. What is it? Cover the world? Paint the world? Cover the world? Yeah, shout out Sherwin. Yo, if we did a Sherwin ad read,
that'd be fire.
That would be so good, bro. I don't need money. I just need to get paid and paint.
Is my mic too loud? It kind of sounds like it is.
I think your headphones might be turned up.
Okay.
Let's try that. Sound better now?
My fault. I apologize for my cracky and squeaked voice because I was screaming last night at the Carti show.
Yeah, which is, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into it. What we want to talk about today is our first experience back at...
Your first experience back.
What did you... Oh, yeah, you went to Summer Smash. Well, my first experience back at a show post-COVID, but also concerts at large and how it's going to be moving on. But yes, our voices are a little hoarse. Last night, I don't know, man. It was there was a vampire sighting in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
We saw a billboard for a vampire gathering, and we were just like, you know what? Like I identify as a vampire, so I guess I'm gonna show up.
I was already wearing a cape. I was sleeping upside down the night before to really charge my energy up. But no, in all seriousness, we saw Playboi Carti last night in not Cincinnati, in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
Yep.
And for me personally, my first major show back post-COVID, and I was a little, I just didn't know. I was a little in the dark about like how it was gonna go. You know what I mean? But I think overall, though, I mean, it was a huge success from like.
I think my biggest concern for the show was for the show just being at NKU at my alma mater. For those who don't know, I went to Northern Kentucky University.
We both did, Norsup.
And that's where the show was, at BB&T Arena, where NKU plays basketball. And I literally graduated on the same floor that Carti was there performing on, which is funny, but...
You had me tripping when you said that last night. It was deadass the same exact stage setup, like as the graduation,
it was.
Bro.
But like my biggest concern was just like, if it was gonna be like a big enough turnout like for Carti to where like the energy would feel like a Carti show in a different city, which I've been to, like, you know what I mean. But bro, we showed out. Like as soon as when we first got there for Ken Carson, like the pit was pretty filled up, but the stands were like, it was spotty. But like as like Ken Carson came on, did his thing, Rico came on, did her thing, and then like right before like Carti started, like I looked around and I was like, all right, like it's filling up, like we're about to turn up.
Yeah, so let's go through. Let's just start from the top here. Ken Carson's set, really good energy. I really loved. It was like I felt like the crowd was like a little tense, a little nervous, and then when Ken Carson came out, because he came out to Ken Carson, H-U-T, and like and
broke
the crowd
the ice.
yes, exactly, broke the ice, broke the tension. The crowd went crazy, and I literally had a moment. I told you all this, but I want to say it on air. I had a moment after that set. I went to the bathroom and I literally heard a kid go, "I don't know who the fuck that was, or I've never heard of Ken Carson before, but he was fire." And I'm like, yes, like that is like exactly what you want to happen at a show with like an opening.
Bro, it's really hard, like especially in rap music, bro, for like just like general like rap fans, if they don't know who you are, like as an artist, it's really hard to get people to turn up for you as an opener.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
rap is just like fans are just on some cool shit. Like I'm here to see Playboi Carti and nobody else. Like, which is part of the reason why Rico Nasty is having a lot of issues. But
yeah,
like, and to get that type of reaction is like a huge W. Like,
and I wanted to talk about the Rico part too. Is people were respectful. I really didn't see anybody acting like
people
wild or anything.
I saw a lot of people doing this, but in the crowd,
I saw a lot of hearts
and like showing love. I was like,
I think though it like the set wasn't really. It was definitely not better than the Ken Carson set, and it's nothing against Rico Nasty. I just think that the region and the crowd of Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, they just don't have the knowledge really about Rico or Rico songs and don't really care. I mean, it was a like majority male concert.
It was.
I feel like it
but
was,
I'm not gonna lie. I looked into this. Like majority of the pit was like 98% dudes.
Yeah.
But like in the stands in the crowd, there were like groups of like girls that were there just like screaming all the Rico songs. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. But
that's
like,
awesome.
I wish they were up there so Rico could like see them. You know what I mean? Because like, I'm sure when she's up on that stage, it's just dark as shit out there and she just can't see anyone. But past, like,
I could feel the energy towards the end of her set was starting to decline. I felt like that was exactly why, because the actual pit in front of her wasn't that crazy, but there was those little side pockets in the seats that
I remember like her like looking to the side a couple of times, like sighing, and just like it just looked like she wanted to get it over with.
Yeah,
I think she just wants this tour to be over with.
Yeah, she's already got a bad taste.
It's a mix.
It's a mix
of both things. It's like obviously it's a big, like the crowd of the previous like shows have, not treated her kindly, but she probably is feeling some type of way from the past shows, and she. A lot of mixed feelings and emotions when she goes out on stage. She doesn't know how the crowd's going to engage from now on. She's hesitant. She's probably way more self-conscious now about who she is and her art. If she's really the shit, which we all know you're the shit, Rico. Like,
we love you, Rico.
It's just, you know how Carti fans are, bro. They just want to see that man Carti. Not all Carti fans. I enjoyed your set, Rico.
I mean, like the white teenage Carti fans,
like just like the high school kid or like the college kid, like they probably don't have this crazy like lens of different types of artists that they're listening to. They probably have their favorite artists and that's all they're listening to, because that's who we were when we were younger.
Fair.
Like we were very passionate about the artists that we loved, and like if we're there to see that person, we don't want to see really like. We're not going to turn up for anybody else.
Right, exactly. Which brings us to the headliner himself, King Vamp Carti. First of all, it was the first of the month yesterday.
That was insane.
The fact that in Sky he says wake up is the first of the month, and it was the first of the month. Like there was like a fucking jolt. There was like a thunderbolt like went through the crowd because I was watching my video of it this morning, and like you can hear it's like wake up, and you hear the whole crowd just like collectively like it's the first of the month. Like it was insane. And it did like provide me with a bit of hope for future shows. And I say that because like I think a lot of people during the pandemic, and including me in this too, like have become more weary and more anxious about like big social events and big crowds and whatnot. Like, I'm a very social person. I like to go out. I mean, I enjoyed the concert very much, but like since the pandemic, I've found myself a little bit more hesitant to going into like, and not even necessarily for health reasons, but just like anxiety, just like I've just become a little bit more reserved, I think, you know, and I was kind of afraid that might trickle into the concert setting, but I don't think there was a shred of inhibition in that crowd last night. It was actually the opposite. I think like the energy was so crazy because it was this pent up explosion of energy that like a lot of people had been waiting to get out. Like I was telling you all before the concert, I was like, yo, I'm about to let loose tonight. Like I haven't like wild out, you know what I'm saying? Like, and God damn it. Yo, side note, before you make your point, I was so disgustingly wet after the concert tonight or last night. It was just, I like once like the lights, once the lights came on and everybody started to disperse, I was like, oh God, oh geez. It was like, I'm
not gonna lie, I've been sweatier.
Yeah, but I mean, like
you haven't been to Rolling Loud in like 95-degree weather in Miami, Florida.
Damn,
like,
good.
It gets really fucking disgusting.
I have nothing to compare.
Like
that to.
I was very happy.
No scope
very happy we were in the nice air conditioning.
Yo, it
felt really like you're like, you know, like that feeling like when you're sweating but you're in the air conditioning, like it's a nice cool feeling. Like I felt that on the way out, and then it wasn't terribly cold outside either, so it was just like relaxing and relieving.
It was like row like 8 or 9 back from the front of the stage. There was like where the fan was hitting, and every once in a while after moshing around, I would get back to like the spot and I'd be like, oh, this is so nice. Oh,
I love being in like pits like that to where like it's really lit like from the front to the fucking back, but like in the back there's just like a little space back there where you can go back there, take a break, take a breather, and just like take in the whole scene and just look. And I did that like 3 or 4 times during Carti's set. Like I would go crazy for like 3 or 4 songs with everybody, come back out, just like look at the whole place, take it all in, chill for like half a song, and then like when I hear the next one, like all right, let's get back in.
When you heard that
shout out bro that was on the guitar, bro.
Oh
Dude was shredding it.
That is, I love.
If he was really shredding it, maybe he might have just been up there with a fucking guitar.
I think he was. If he wasn't, he was like doing a really good pantomiming thing. But like I was trying to like look at him sometimes and see little like movements. And I think he was, but he just. All right, let's just get this out of the way. Nobody actually saw Carti last night. We saw a shape of Carti. We saw some mystical being on stage, but I can't say
at the beginning.
I
saw his outfit at the beginning, like right before the smoke. He had shades on. He had the fucking.
He had some sort of like turban,
whatever,
the
ski mask shit.
He kind of looked a little bit to me in the silhouette. He kind of looked like a mummy, but kind of like a dope Scooby-Doo villain mummy with like I don't know. It was just funny. Like at a certain point, like song number 4 or 5, I'm just like, I actually haven't seen him. I thought I was just like missing him.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh no, I just can't see him. He's just a figure on the stage.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe people in like the stands that were like on like the side of the stands.
I bet they had a really good view of.
They might have been able to see him, but we were just so straight on, like down there, right in the middle, where all of like the cloud, the fog machines and shit.
Yes,
were just right on the floor, like where we were at. So like we couldn't even see him.
One thing that I think I want to use this as a segue into the kind of concerts at large conversation, but. The security at BB&T Arena was plentiful, and they were taking their job fucking serious.
There was cops on the floor,
kicking people out for vaping. That's fucking one thing. Which is whack. Just like so lame.
Yeah,
we may or may
not.
One
of our homies got kicked out for vaping. Yeah, sorry, Brian, if you're listening. It's tough.
We may or may not have partaken in some actions like that during the Rico Nasty set, but it was dark and the music was playing, you know, but like kids were just like hitting the fucking the blue raspberry fucking vape sticks during the lit parts. It was just like, come on, man. But yeah, there was a lot of security, they were taking their job very seriously. And I think that's something that kind of made me, while I was at the concert, think about like, all right, so BB&T capacity is 9,500 people. I'd say there's probably like 1,000 plus there last night, right?
Bro,
like,
there was way more than that.
How many people do you think were there last night? I'm not good at gauging
I'd say like
that
4,000.
Really?
3 or 4.
I mean, once Carti came on, the stands were really packed. You're probably right.
I'd say 3 or 4.
Pit,
the whole bottom dome was filled up of
Yeah.
the stands, and the pit was there's probably
the pit. What do you say? Like
on the floor, and then like
75% of like that area was filled. I feel like of the pit, right? Because there was that little back section, but I mean, like what? Like it is one thing to compare 4,500 people to like 50,000 people at what happened at Astroworld. Like that's a whole different ball game of how you attack that and what you keep. But it was, I think, obviously in the wake of the Astroworld disaster, the tragedy that happened there, like I think whoever is running BB&T Arena, and I'm sure this is probably common at other arenas, are like very, very on their shit. And I think that could affect concerts in the future for many obvious reasons, but one reason being like concerts are where like parents oftentimes drop their teenagers off to go to, and like, you know, if I was a parent and I had a kid who was going to a Playboi Carti concert, and you're like, who's Playboi Carti? And you listen to his music and you're like, oh my God, my son's going to a demon show. Like, I would be weary. I would be worried. Is there going to be security? Are people going to,
I think it has more so to do. I think it's more so has to do with the Astroworld tragedy, and that it was on every major media news outlet, and like
definitely.
Our parents don't really understand our music and like the environment that it entails, and now that this has happened, they're gonna just assume that their kids could get seriously hurt, potentially die at a show, when it's a very, very minuscule like percentage of the wide like spread of all these types of shows, you know what I mean?
And I think too, well, one comment I do want to make is that everybody in the crowd was very respectful of like when we were in the pit and like people needed to like go out and get through. Like every person I saw coming through, like people were being respectful. It was easy to get out. People were picking people up when they slipped. Like it was respectful crowd, which I think is good, and I hope that is something that is current in other cities as well. But I think like that is going to be, looking at concerts post Astroworld, I think is going to be way different, you know, especially large scale hip hop concerts. Yeah. Like, I don't know. And like, will venues like throttle how many people actually go to the show? Or do you think they just
I think it's going to be, so Rolling Loud, is it? LA is this weekend, and they they changed it to just 18 and over.
Right.
So I think that is potentially as a first like good step. Like it sucks that high school kids like can't go, but like I don't know.
Well, I think Rolling Loud being such, one thing we have to keep in mind here is like the number.
Yeah.
Like how like Playboi Carti at BB&T is very different from Astroworld, which is very different from Rolling Loud, which is different from, I don't know, Lil Yachty at Bogarts for Us or something like that. You know what I mean? Like Rolling Loud, it sucks that these high school kids can't go to it, but Rolling Loud being so big and also probably being so like rich, they can kind of afford to cut off this one demographic.
Definitely.
You know? But not all venues are going to be able to do that. Not all concerts are going to be able to do that.
Definitely.
So I'm curious about what that looks like in the future.
Yeah. You know? I think the obviously like their security is going to step up, but I think the overall like energy and behavior of like kids wanting to like rage and like mosh is like not going to stop.
No, hell no.
Like we saw like we saw it last night. Like, I don't know, like there's been like a lot of talk of like, is like Travis gonna take this like new route and like not be like branded as the Rager? Is like rage music gonna like take like a hit, and like is people gonna start like, trying to like maneuver away from that type of environment? I'm like, bro, that's not gonna happen. Like we're still in like that, and like there's no signs of that like kind of slowing down, like with all like the next up and coming artists that are coming up in the underground. Like it's just all like really hard distorted 808 music, and like people just want to fucking rage, bro. Like,
I did not think about. I hadn't heard anybody say that about like, is Travis gonna move in a new direction or something? Because that's been his like shtick. That's his like gimmick.
His fans are the ragers,
They're
bro.
literally the ragers.
He calls it. Are you guys ready for the rage?
I don't want to like make this a podcast about Astroworld, because I think a lot has been said on it, and we don't really need to spend a lot of time. But like a lot of small things happened in order for this larger tragedy to happen, right? Like it's not just, obviously not all on Travis. It's not all on the Houston police. It's not all on the venue. Like there's just a lot of small things that came together to happen. But
it's also just like the like the capitalistic like kind of place we're at with like music festivals, and like just
how many people can we
stuff in this place so we can like squeeze as much profit as we can.
Yeah. And it's really fun, like being in the pit last night, like with this large group of people, and it's like, and you're, the crowd is moving in waves, it's moving you.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking fun. That is the crux of all of this, is that it's so fun. But at a certain point, I think we have to start setting these boundaries of like, I understand 50,000 people could fit in here, but should 50,000 people fit in here though?
I've loved going to festivals growing up, but
and you're a huge festival guy. I've been to Forecastle. Like that's the only festival I've ever been to, and it was one of my first concert experiences, so I wasn't really like in on the shit, but like, what does this look like for somebody? What does it feel like for somebody who loves to go and often goes to festivals?
I think the biggest thing about festivals is like just the plethora of, you can see like at Rolling Loud, for example, like you can go to Rolling Loud and you can see literally all of your favorite artists in the matter of a weekend. Like that's why I've loved going to festivals growing up. But now that I'm working in the industry, I'm managing an artist. We have this production company thing going on. Like, I want to be the creator of these things rather than the consumer. Yeah. And as I get older, and even like with seeing like things like this happen, I'm like, man, I'm getting too old to be out here in the pits with these kids. If at like big festivals, like last night, like just like tour shows and stuff, like I love that shit because it's
a singular moment,
and it's the fans. Like like that's another thing at festivals is all the diehard fans are gonna be close to the front for someone like Carti, Travis, Uzi, Thug, or whatever. Like it's hella people there, but not everybody is there to see the artists you want to see.
And some people are also going to these festivals just to like take a fake ecstasy pill and go crazy with their friends.
It's a hodgepodge of different reasons why people are there.
Really, I was just like very happy to see that there was like almost no fuckery at the concert last night. I didn't see anything. Nah. I don't know if you saw anything, or John, if you saw anything, but like it was people seem to be like on their shit. But yeah, at festivals it's a fucking,
you see tweakers and shit like all the time. People passing out and just
exactly.
But like at the Carti show last night, it was just pure adrenaline.
Yeah, like I swear I feel like I didn't even see people like off the drugs for real. Like it looked like real fucking adrenaline out there. Like it wasn't anybody just like like tweaking at the crowd or anything. Like it was just like I don't know. It was I think all in all, it gives me hope for concerts for the future, because I was feeling a bit worried about like what is the new direction of concerts going to be? Because the music's not going to change. The music will change, but like as of this moment, music's not going to change right now. Like,
and bro, like I feel like it's a trap, bro. Once again, the Astroworld thing was a humongous tragedy, and I feel extremely bad and it saddens me like what happened. What happened, first of all, because kids lost their lives. They should be losing their lives at a fucking concert. Seeing somebody where a place that's supposed to be they're supposed to be having fun. And two, Travis Scott is somebody that I've been listening to for several years now, and he's a big part of. He's influenced me heavy. It's a big reason why I'm even into music so much. He's had, you know, he's had a big influence on me.
I mean, not even just music, shoes,
everything, like
brand deals, things like that.
You know? Like there was a shift in hip hop when Travis started to get really big. I don't know where I was gonna go with this. What the fuck was I about to say?
It's not about Travis. It's not like a singular thing.
I was gonna say, like for change to like really happen, I think it has to happen like several times. Like one big thing, because especially today in the social media world, everything is just like in the media news cycle, everything is just like so quick. Bro, no one's talking about Astroworld anymore. It's been like, I mean, like whenever a headline comes up about the lawsuit, people start get outraged again. Like the woke people like start getting like crazy about it. But like it feels like it's already passed.
Kind of right. Also,
you know what I mean? Which is sad. Like there's like obviously there should be some sort of change at the macro level. I'm not smart enough to know what those changes like should exactly be. Festivals for sure need like some sort of like more.
I would love to talk to somebody who books talent and does like,
and I'm
like
not
venues and stuff.
Everybody that's like up in arms about it. Like we've never thrown a festival before. Like we don't know all the ins and outs of like throwing a festival and how to organize a large group of people and to make sure nobody gets hurt. Like I'm not saying I'm not giving it justice for like that it happened, but like it would be cool to like talk to somebody like what they think we should do. You know what I mean? Like
if anybody out there is listening has a plug on somebody who has thrown large scale events, not even necessarily music, I mean just like large scale events with a lot of people, we'd love to talk to you. I don't have much more to say about concerts, but I do want to give just like, let's just spend 2 minutes on this. Let's not make it too long, but we should pay our respects to two huge personalities of hip hop, of culture that we've lost in the last couple of weeks. A lot of shit has happened since we've been away from the podcast. It would take way too long to get into everything, but just recently on our mind, the passing of Young Dolph and the passing of Virgil. I mean, like, talk about the wind getting knocked out of your sails. Like, it's just so unfortunate. And quickly, what I will say at least is like Young Dolph, like as you, I think you tweeted it, like fucking had Cincinnati in a fucking chokehold for so many years. So like. And just like the Midwest region in general, and just what a staple, what a just an admirable man, a charitable man, somebody you could really look up to for inspiration.
Bro, he was a leader.
He was a leader
obviously for the black community, but you know people like us too. Like he's definitely somebody that you can
look to and say, I respect what he did, and I would.
And what he's saying, like his music, he's just talking game the whole time and like motivation and just like how to get it and like how to really make it out, get it out of the mud, and just
for real.
You can transform that energy into whatever you got going on in your life to fucking level up and boss up. That's all it was.
All of it.
He wanted.
Oh, what a feeling!
He wanted the best for him and his people, and then he wanted to inspire other people, and that's what it's all about. And you saw it with the reaction when he passed away. And he was one of those, like, I feel like low-key I put him, I don't want to compare him to fucking Kobe Bryant, but like there's this invincibility about Dolph. Like I felt like it just doesn't feel real because like he's one of those rappers that were just like, it just felt like he was unstoppable, bro. Independent. He built this empire from Memphis, like pretty much on his own. Signed fire artists, like said no to major record labels. Has been doing it for over a decade now. Still, damn near like you can't even like pinpoint his peak because he's still like was still putting out projects that were doing numbers and like
I really don't think he had
coming out
reached
with
his
hard
peak.
new singles. Like he was, bro. It just felt like he wasn't gonna go away. Like in hip hop and in music in general, we see people come in and leave.
Yeah. And
After
Dolph had
6
been
months, after a
steady.
year, sometimes after 4 years, 5 years,
Dolph was
it's been
steady.
damn
Almost
near
a decade. I
like
feel
12,
like.
13 years. Like
Yeah.
like 2008, 2009 was when he first started getting onto the scene. Was in the Atlanta scene with like Gucci Mane and shit around like the club scene, and then like the early 2010s was when he really started to like break, and he's been here ever since.
Well, speaking of another person we thought would never leave either or would never stop, Virgil.
Yeah, dude.
Just another inspirational person, somebody you could point to and say, I see what you have done and I think I could do it too. Like, I think that was the big thing about Virgil that I've been seeing people say is that it's one thing to inspire people and to like do something that people look up to, but with Virgil, it always looked like we could do it too. Like the way he did things, it was so accessible. Because Virgil was just, at the end of the day, Virgil was just a fan like us.
Yeah.
He just happened to be extremely smart and worked his way up and whatnot. Like, I don't have to go into any of that. We all know that. But like, he was in Tyler, the Creator's Instagram post, he called him like a geek. He was like, Virgil was a geek about things. And I just like, that's it. That pinpointed it right there. And I mean, obviously, like, we could do a whole podcast about the influence of Virgil, but like the seeds that he has planted and how these seeds have grown into the greater image and culture of not only hip hop, but just like black culture being consumed in America. Like, I mean, pretty
much everything in the culture, whether it's music, fashion, art,
how people build their houses and shit,
architecture.
Bro,
like
he did a plane for Drake.
Yeah,
the man designed the plane.
Wedding dresses for like Hailey Bieber, like everything.
On,
like the last 10 years, all of your favorite influencers, artists, celebrities, whomever, the culture at large, pop culture here in America, it's crossed through Virgil Abloh like one way or another, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah,
like he's like the epicenter of the culture. Like he's like right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting after this.
Because he's like, there's like still this like unseen grouping of projects that he hasn't.
Oh my God. He was
that
41,
we haven't seen yet.
And he just got the Louis Vuitton job.
Yeah. But we haven't seen, like, there's probably some finalized things that we just haven't seen yet. Like, like we're going to get this trickle down effect of Virgil even after he's passed. My birthday twin too. I hate to see my birthday twin go down.
Oh damn.
Me, Virgil, T-Pain, and Fran Drescher. September 30th, baby. Well, that was fun. I'm glad we're back on the show, and I want to remind everybody, obviously, to follow us on Instagram at Soul Serum, at Soul Serum TV, Twitter as well. Subscribe to us on YouTube, TikTok, Discord, Patreon. We'll be putting team podcasts up back soon. And with all of that being said, shout out to Gately for the new intro and outro songs, by the way. That's probably about to start now. With all that being said, I, as always, am your host, Clay Bonine.
I'm your co-host, Team Avis.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
Deuces.